Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and another video. If you ever wanted to start a WordPress blog, this is going to be a perfect video for you. I'm going to take you step by step through the entire process of getting your WordPress blog set up. So if you want to be updated on content like this or in relation to affiliate marketing, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right everybody, welcome to the next lesson and the next part of the training. This video is going to give a brief overview of why you should start a blog and some statistics behind Google and your blogging and everything like that. And also I want to set some expectations as well as give you some insight as to how long this will take and what you can expect from starting a blog. So we're going to jump into my computer. The beginning of this video is going to be, I'm going to be going over a blog post actually by Oberlo, which breaks down some of the stats behind blogging and why it is important. So first things first, Google is the most visited website in the world, and as you can imagine, being able to get your content to rank on the first page of Google will ultimately increase your business, whether you're an affiliate marketer, you have a physical business, or anything. Learning SEO and how to get your blog posts on the top search of Google is going to increase your revenue by insane amounts, and it is completely passive. And unlike other forms of traffic, once you get a blog post ranking, it can rank for years and years to come if you create the right type of content, which I'll cover, but it's powerful, very powerful. Google dominates the search engine market. So Google has 92.18% of the market. So figuring out how to rank on Google is going to ultimately give you the power to print money, really. So let's see, 3.5 billion Google searches are done every day. As you can imagine, how many times have you searched something on Google today or every other day? People are constantly searching things on Google, and ultimately that is how you're going to create high-performing content and articles that are going to rank on Google, and you're going to be able to monetize on them by getting your blog posts in front of the right people. I know this might be a foreign concept right now, but I just want to talk about some statistics behind you starting a blog and why you should do it in the first place. Okay, so 63% of Google's US organic search traffic is from mobile. This is a very important part that this is going to be crucial. This is also why I'll talk about later in this training, but this is why I chose the theme for your website that I chose. A lot of themes and a lot of websites are still way behind with this, and they're not optimized for mobile, and search engines actually still prioritize desktop and things like that, when in reality the majority of the searches are coming from mobile nowadays, and you need to make sure that your website loads on mobile extremely fast. We live in a time that is very we've become very impatient, and we have things at the tip of our fingers at all times, and ultimately if you can't get your website to load in under 3 seconds, you are going to lose about 50% of your traffic. So I know that might not make sense right now, but as I go through this training, you will understand more, and I just want you to have that in your mind. You need to prioritize mobile, and it's going to only get worse as more and more people are readily, everybody can have a cell phone nowadays, when some people can't afford desktops, and that's not going to stop you from monetizing and making affiliate commissions. So how often do we use? So 84% of the entire world uses Google search more than 3 times a day. So could you imagine the power of being able to get your blog posts in the top results of Google? You're going to be getting traffic like crazy, and not only will it open up the avenues of you increasing your affiliate commissions, it'll also give you the opportunity to place ads on your website and really diversify your portfolio of creating an income online. So let's jump back into my face cam, and I just want to set some expectations with blogging. By no means is blogging a fast thing. This is a very common misconception, and a lot of people will paint the picture to you when they first tell you how to start a blog, or if you watch a YouTube video on how to create an affiliate marketing website, they paint the picture that you're going to be able to just throw up some blog posts and you're going to be ranking really fast. And the reality of the situation is the way that Google works is it could take hundreds of blog posts before you ever even hit the first page of Google. I think I was probably around 80,000 words into my blog before I ever even hit the first page. But that is also, keep in mind that I am in a very competitive industry, and the way that Google ranks your websites will heavily be influenced by what industry or niche that you choose. To add context to that, Google is very strict on any websites that are finance or anything related to health. And when I say health, I don't necessarily mean like fitness or working out. I'm talking more along the lines of like supplements or things that could potentially cause bodily injury. An example I like to make all the time is imagine if you had a brand new blog and you threw up a blog post about essential oils, right? And someone Googles, I think I'm having a heart attack, what do I do? And they say, this blog post is ranking, it says, oh, you think you're having a heart attack, it's okay, just sniff some frankincense. And that person potentially dies or has some serious health side effects because they followed this blog post that wasn't necessarily credible. So with that being said, Google is very strict with anything in those categories. So for me, my blog is affiliate marketing and making money online. So that falls into the finance category. So they are very strict. I just want to preface this and let everybody know that if you are in the make money online space or things along that nature, it is going to take a lot of time and effort to rank your blog posts because it can be looked at as if you're in a finance space, and Google can't rank websites that haven't built up authority, and you need to build up trust with Google first. So it's a very intricate process, but I'm just giving you I just want to give you an introduction and let you know what you're going to be in for before you actually start building a blog or you go further with this training. And then with that in mind, also you have to think of the competition. Your competition is going to be huge. So not saying that you can't compete with bigger companies, but you might need to niche down a little bit more and target a really specific industry if you have huge competition, because there's websites that have been around for years and years and years, and you're starting out as a brand new website, and it's going to be really hard for you to compete. You have to look at it like if someone has a huge website that they've been building for years, and they're able to hire 5 or 6 copywriters that are able to put out blog posts every day, and you're only able to get out a blog post every week, the chances of you outranking that website are slim to none. So you need to keep in mind, and I'm not trying to discredit blogging or anything. Blogging is by far my favorite method of traffic. I just want to introduce you to the concepts and let you know what you're going to be getting into. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into the next training video. All right, so now we're going to be talking about how to pick a domain and picking the right domain name for you. So for those of you who don't know what a domain is www.facebook.com. That's a domain. So when you're going to be choosing your domain, there's a couple things that I like to go by. Don't make it hard to say. Don't make it way too long or tongue twister. Make it easy and catchy. It's kind of it's a catch-22. You want it to be catchy and can roll off the tongue really easily, but you also don't want it to be too specific. So say you have a blog and you say the name of your blog or your website is ilovesnakes.com. So over time, that might be great if your entire blog's about snakes, but in the future, if you ever branch out and you go to different types of content, say you want to start writing content about horses or any other type of animal, it's not necessarily going to affect your ranking score, but it's going to look weird in the search engines when someone Googles how to care for a horse, and then they see all these Google searches and it says your domain is ilovesnakes.com. It just looks weird. So you want to have a domain that's not too specific, but it also is catchy and in your industry. It works really well if you have content that's all geared around, you know. So example, the name of my blog, it was kind of, I used a domain generator. It's Nightimenickels, which is kind of a play on, you know, creating income while you sleep. So Nightimenickels, it's like passive income. But so you can also just go with something as simple as yourname.com. And I would also recommend just going with a domain that's a .com. Don't go with like a .ca, or if you're out of country, if you're out of the United States, do not use a domain that's restrictive to your country, because ultimately that's going to really restrict your ability to search in the search engines. So just always go with a .com. When we do pick a host, you'll be able to get a free domain. They will give you a free domain when you sign up for hosting, which I'll go through that process in the next part. So let's see. One thing I did want to touch on, but I mean, you can change if you need to. Eventually, you can change your domain. It can be kind of tricky, which is, you know, you could just avoid that now by not going to specific. You know, if you want to have a blog about making money online, you know, find a domain name in that general industry. Don't go with like make money online with Facebook, because what if Facebook is irrelevant in, you know, the next couple years? Then then it's just going to cause more issues for you down the road. So a thing to keep in mind is you might want to keep your domain separate from your hosting. I'm not really going to cover that in this video, but this is really only prevalent if you plan on having a blog that is going to be your sole source of income. And that is because if, say I have my, as I mentioned, if you have a host, they give you a free domain. Well, if I have my domain through that hosting company, if there's ever problems with that hosting company and my site is no longer live, I can't just move my domain to a different host. So that's why I personally like to keep my domain separate from my hosting company. That way, if there's ever problems with my site, I can just migrate my domain to a different host, and then my site has no downtime. That's advanced techniques and things that I'm not really going to cover in this training, but that is a thing, that is an option. You could keep it separate. You know, if you just purchased your domain for like 99 cents from GoDaddy or something along those lines, and then you put it onto your host. This will require more setup. It will be a little bit more tricky, so I don't really want to cover it. But if that is something that you would like me to explain or whatever, feel free to reach out to me in the comments section or anything like that. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the next part. Okay, so now we're going to be covering hosting. So as I mentioned a little bit before, WordPress is a completely free platform. It allows anybody to create a website or put a website on their platform entirely for free. But with that said, you need to host the website, and hosting is basically just what makes your site live. I mentioned before that there was two different options to host that I would recommend. You got the first option, which is cheaper, and ultimately, you know, it's not going to really be. It's like $3 or $4 a month, and it's pretty. I mean, it's just fine. A lot of websites are hosted through this website or through this company. I had my website hosted through them in the beginning, and the only reason I would really recommend going with the higher one is if you plan on really taking your blog seriously, or you start to get a lot of traffic. So keep that in mind. If you do end up having a blog that ranks on Google and you get a lot of traffic, you are no longer going to be able to use this hosting, and that is just because they will not be able to handle the amount of traffic that you get. So for the sake of keeping this training simple, I am going to only show you how to set up for this traffic, or for this host, which is going to be Bluehost. If you do have any further questions about what my other recommendation would be, feel free to reach out to me, leave it in the comments section. I will be more than happy to tell you about that and explain it. The caveat to that is if you do go with the more expensive version, it is going to be a lot easier, and it's really not that much more expensive. It just ends up being the same, really, because ultimately you're going to have to pay for a couple upgraded services. If you go with the cheaper plan, you're going to have to pay for a CDN, which I'm not going to explain right now, but it ends up being around the same cost. So we're going to go ahead and jump into my computer, and I'm going to be signing up for this real time for a website that I'm creating right now for somebody. So I just felt like that would be an easier process to explain as I'm going. So we'll go ahead and jump right into my computer, and let's go ahead and do this. So I will leave a link in the description or below for where you can go to this, or you can just go to bluehost.com. So we're going to go ahead and go to get started. And so we're just going to go with the basic. You don't need any of the other. Go with the cheapest thing, the cheapest plan. So this is where I was talking about. They're going to give you a free domain. So, and you can obviously migrate existing domain if you have one. But you know, this is where you're going to choose your domain. So make sure it's right. And I'm going to pick my domain. And I am going to go ahead, before I do this, I am going to just let you know that all of this stuff down here, such as the domain privacy, all these other extra add-ons, you can uncheck all of those boxes. All you need to do is pay for the hosting. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. And I'm going to pause this recording because I'm going to enter my credit card information and I'm going to pay for this, but I don't want you to see that, obviously. So I will be right back. Okay, all right, everybody. So now after you have put in all your information and you purchased your hosting, it ended up being right around $71. Keep in mind that is for an entire year. If you purchase for longer, you know, you do 36 months or things like that, it'll be a lot cheaper. It's ended up being like $5.95 per month. So as I mentioned, this is going to cost a little bit of money to set up, but this can be one of the most important assets of your business. So now it's going to tell you to put in a password and create an account. So go ahead and do that. And this is what you're going to log into Bluehost with. So now we're going to go to Bluehost. It'll automatically take you through to Bluehost. But just keep in mind, you are not really even going to be using Bluehost. As I mentioned, you are setting up a WordPress website. Bluehost is merely hosting that website, but this is the process of getting everything set up. So now that we have done all of this, we are going to just go ahead and start beginning the process of setting up your WordPress, which is what actually will have your website live. So you can go, when it comes to building your site, you don't really need to worry about this because I'm going to be taking you through the entire process anyway. So just go ahead and go skip this step. You can skip through all these steps if you want. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and skip this step 2. It's going to tell you to do a free theme. You could choose a free theme if you want, but as I was talking about earlier in the training, I am not going to cover a free theme because I chose a theme that I personally use for my blog that is going to allow you to just start putting out content. It is going to optimize everything for you, search engine, mobile, everything. It was a lifesaver for me, and it's going to be a lifesaver for you too. So we'll just go to skip, and it's installing WordPress already. So there we go. And we're going to go to My Sites, and we're going to go to right here where it says, okay, so you're at home when you first came in. We're going to go to My Sites, and we're going to go to log into WordPress. Taking a second to load. Okay, so this is what the back end of your WordPress is going to look like. I know this looks really overwhelming and really confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to come back in a few seconds, and we're going to jump back right back into it. All right, everybody. So here we're back again, and we're in the back end of your WordPress. So I know this can look really confusing, so we're just going to clean a bunch of stuff up real quick and delete a bunch of stuff that you don't need. Just to, there's a lot of things on the back end of this WordPress dashboard, and don't let it overwhelm you. Okay, there's only a few sections of this that you're actually even going to be using. So we're going to clean it up, and the reason for that is even if you're not using certain plugins or things that are on the back of your WordPress dashboard, it will slow down your website. So we're going to go ahead and go to right here where it says plugins, and you're going to see all of these plugins that are already active. We're going to go ahead and just deactivate and delete almost all of these plugins. X this out. You're going to X all these things out. You're not going to worry about these. Delete. So you're going to just click deactivate, and then once it's deactivated, you can go ahead and delete these. I want to take you through this entire process just to simplify everything before we actually start getting everything up and going. Just because, as I mentioned, WordPress wasn't really designed for just your everyday content creator. So getting everything deleted and everything like that first is going to be key, just so that way we can keep it simple, keep the process simple, minimize distractions, and we can just get going. So if you noticed, I deleted everything other than Bluehost. Bluehost is your host, so do not delete it, okay? So this is going to be the dashboard that you're going to be using and how you're going to be getting into your website. So you're going to get into that by going to your domain. Let me just open a note real quick so I can show you. You're not going to, you can go to your website through your domain, you can access the back end of your website through your Bluehost, but I would just recommend saving. You can either bookmark your dashboard, you can bookmark, sorry, my computer. You can bookmark this. I would highly recommend just bookmarking this section, like put it in your favorites, because this is where you're going to be doing everything. You don't really need to worry about your Bluehost anymore. You're not going to be creating anything from that Bluehost dashboard anymore. They're just hosting your website. But for some reason, if you end up losing that, you can get back to this website by going to this right here, /WordPress-admin, and we'll just show you. So this is how you'll get back to that dashboard, and with the word your domain will be whatever your domain is, and then it's going to be /WP-admin. That gives you access to the back end of your WordPress dashboard, and that is it. So then for this, I'm going to go ahead and jump into teaching you or showing you where to get your theme. Your theme is going to be what your website actually looks like and what it looks like right now. So if we notice, we go up here right now, we open a new tab. This is what your WordPress looks like. This is what your WordPress website looks like. It's just a, coming soon, because I told you not to choose a theme yet because we're going to go with a different theme. So with that said, I'll go ahead and jump into it. All right, everybody, welcome to the next section. This is going to be choosing a theme, and what the theme is what your website looks like. I did not do a free theme or cover how to do a free theme, because in reality, I wasted a ton of time purchasing a bunch of different themes and setting up a bunch of different things when I first started my WordPress blog, because I don't know how to code and I don't know how to do all that stuff. So I wasted a ton of time trying to get all the technical aspects set up, and I came across this theme, and it was an amazing tool. It optimizes a bunch of stuff, and it really is almost a plug and play method where you can download this theme, you can import it into your WordPress dashboard, and you're ready to rock and roll. With that said, it is going to cost $50 for a year if you choose to do a yearly subscription, or it's a $100 one-time fee. So that's a total of $170 to get your entire WordPress blog set up, and that's ultimately it. And keep in mind, yes, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I don't really want to spend that type of money. But you know, this is an asset. This is probably one of the most valuable assets you could add to your website. And that's it. You don't have to pay this every month. You know, the hosting is for an entire year, and if you paid for longer than a year, it's going to be even cheaper. So we'll go ahead, and I already purchased this theme. So, and that's another thing to mention is, since I've already purchased this theme for my blog, I can then use this theme on any blog that I want. So keep that in mind. So if you purchase it, you will find where you can download it, and you're going to just want to click download the Acabado theme, and it will automatically download. And then we will wait for that to download in the bottom, and then I will show you how to upload that into your WordPress dashboard. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our WordPress, and you're going to go right here to where it says appearance. You're going to click on appearance, you're going to go up here, and you're going to go to upload. You're going to go right here, and you're going to click upload theme, and it's going to go to choose file. And that's going to show you where you're going to choose the Acabado file. I will leave a link below where you can get this theme, or you could just go to acabado.com. And when you do, you're going to click install now. And we'll wait for it to install. And this is going to install the theme on your website. And this is going to be a huge time saver. It's going to be amazing. So, and then you're going to have to click activate. In Acabado Manager. So then after you have installed the theme, you're going to be up here from the dashboard. You're going to go down here to Acabado Manager, and you are going to enter the email address that you purchased in. That is going to make it live. So we'll just go ahead and we'll just look at, see if it changed. It did change a little bit. So if you notice, it automatically changed the view of your website. So we're getting there, but so go ahead and pause this for a sec. All right, so sorry, I just had to check something real quick. So in the top, it should tell you a bunch of recommended themes. So we're going to go ahead and click the one-click demo import. And we're going to click install now. If it ever installs, it's going really slow right now, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to plugins. We'll go to begin installing plugins. We'll go to the plugin section and see if that works. So you are going to want to, so yeah, my bad. Just go to install required plugins. We'll go to install ShorePixel in the bottom. You are going to want this. So what this does is it's going to automatically, it's going to compress all the images you upload to your website. The reason for this is the number one thing that can slow down your website is images. Especially if you take images on your phone and then you upload it to a blog post, it could be hundreds of megabytes. And if you don't get your loading time in under like 3 seconds, you're going to lose like 50% of your traffic. So you need to make sure that you do this. We'll go back to the plugin section, and we'll go to click the begin install. It's going to go recommendations. So we'll just do all plugins, click all the plugins, and press apply. Oops, sorry. install one-click demo. This one-click demo is going to give you, it's going to show you this whole template. It's going to make it really easy for you. It's going to make it so your website ultimately, it's going to make it so all of your so then I went to plugins, and I'm going to go to activate the one-click demo. And the reason for this is it's going to just give you a bunch of templates, so that way it looks like your website already has content on it, and then you're going to be able to just start building on top of that instead of really starting from scratch. Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause and do that again. So we're going to go over here to the appearance section, and you're going to go refresh this page real quick. We're going to go to appearance, and we're going to go to import appearance, and we're going to go to import demo data. It's the third option up, and then you go to the bottom and you're going to go to import demo data. This is going to give you a bunch of templates, and it's going to just make it so that your website already looks like it's ready to go, and that way you can just build on those templates instead of starting from scratch. It makes it a lot easier, and I'll show you what I mean once it's done importing. So I'm sorry if this training is all over the place, and I'm doing this real time. I'm actually setting up a live website right now as we do this, and I also want to mention that if you are struggling with getting all of this set up, if you go down into the bottom left and you go to Acabado settings, there is a section in there that will go to online tutorial, and then we'll walk you through this entire process of setting it up yourself. So, and those are the creators of this theme. So with that being said, I'm going to wait for this to import, and then I'm going to jump into the next section of the training video, and that is going to be the next part, and I'll see you in there. All right, everybody, so now that you got that all set up and you got your theme installed, we're going to start doing some cleaning up, and we're going to start just getting everything good to go and setting everything up. So I highly recommend that you go to the bottom left and you go to Acabado settings and you go to online tutorial, and then you watch all of these videos and you go through step by step and you get everything set up. If you did that and you got everything set up the way that they did in most of the videos, you might not, some of the things that I'm going to be talking about in this portion of the training video is not going to be applicable, but I'm going to really simplify this process, and we're going to go through, and I'm going to really just delete a bunch of stuff that's not needed, so that way we can just focus on putting out content and we can just get this stuff going. So first things first, we are going to go to appearance, and we're going to go to customize. Okay, we're going to go to customize. It's going to give you a live customization of this. We're going to go to menus, and everything in these menus, we're just going to delete all of them. Okay, so that's the footer menu. We're going to go to primary, and we're going to remove all of these menus. We're going to delete these. The reason I'm doing this is because the reason I'm deleting all of these is because it can get really confusing. This part can get really confusing, and a lot of people can get hung up on this section for a long time, and I don't want to waste any time. I just want to make it to the point where you can just start ramping out content and you can start putting out blog posts. You don't really need the menus in the first place, because in reality it is very hard to rank the homepage of your blog anyways. So you're most likely going to be ranking for individual posts. So when people land on your blog post, it's not really going to make a difference whether you have a menu or not. So after you do that, make sure you hit publish, and then we're going to go ahead and go back to the dashboard. Okay. And now we'll just go ahead and do we'll open a new tab, and we'll just look at what the live site looks like. So if you notice, now there is no menus. Okay. There's nothing going on. There's no menus, nothing that's gonna, minimal distractions and things like that. So then we're gonna go ahead and go back down into Acabado settings in the left, and we're gonna go ahead and add a logo. They recommend 480 by 480 pixels. So if you have one, upload it. If you don't, that's okay too. You can just upload an image, and then you can upload a favicon. This is 40 pixels by 40 pixels. I use Canva, a free tool. You can get a free 30-day trial to do this, and I just create my logos and then I upload them there. And that should be pretty much everything on this section. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over into Acabado settings, and we're going to go to footer. And this is where you're going to put your disclaimer. This is going to be empty when you first come in here. I already put it in, but this is where you're going to put your affiliate disclaimer. If you're an affiliate marketer, as I assume you are because you're watching this video, you're going to put, this is where you're going to put your disclaimer that you are an affiliate and that you promote affiliate products. And if someone clicks on something, you might be getting a commission. You have to disclaim, you have to make sure that people that purchase through your affiliate link know that. So then after that, we are going to go ahead and go back into the Acabado settings, and we're going to go to sidebar. And this is where you're going to go ahead and put an about image or change a photo. So I'm going to delete this photo. I'm going to change this photo to something else that is me, not the stock image that they put. As I mentioned, I'm doing this website for somebody else. So, and then under that, you're just going to put a little a brief description about you and who you are. And then the legal information, I just go ahead and delete that. I delete everything about the legal information that they leave in that section. As you notice, I'll go to, this is my blog right here, my personal blog. This is the way I laid it out. I did a picture of myself on the right with a description of me, and then I just put images of affiliate products that I'm promoting on the right side. And that way it looks really clean when you go to blog posts and you check it out, and you have all these images that direct towards affiliate links. So that's what I recommend you do as well. So, and then there should be a template for, just delete that, and then we'll click update. This is where you'd put your image for an ad, and I'm not going to explain that in this training, but you would just do that by going right here, and you would put add media. So you would just go to add media right here, and you would upload a image. They recommend 350 by 200 pixels, I want to say. So that's where you would put it for, and it would show up in the sidebar. But I'm just going to focus on getting you to the point where you can start putting out content. So that is going to be it for the settings where you deleted. Oh yeah, sorry. We're going to go into pages. There was a bunch of pages. Just go ahead and delete pretty much all of the pages, because the difference with WordPress and a page and a you want to delete most of them. And the difference is, when you have a WordPress blog, you're not going to be doing anything on pages. You're always going to be creating posts. This is where people can get really confused. You're not really ever going to be creating any pages. I think on my blog, I only have like 3 or 4 pages, and I have over 100 blog posts. So don't worry about this. The plugin that you did install will have uploaded all of these different pages, but just go ahead and delete those. And then once you do that, we'll go ahead and move on to the next section of the training, where we're going to go and we're going to start. I'm going to show you how you're going to start creating your blog posts. Okay, everybody. So before we jump into actually creating a blog post and finding how you're going to find blog post ideas, I want to go ahead and just go over a couple more different settings and things that I missed in the last portion of the training. So we're going to go ahead and go down to Acabado settings, and we're going to go to SEO. We are going to go here, and all of these things are going to be checked off. So this is where you're going to put your site title. That's what's going to show up above here in the bar. So like when you, in the top bar above, it'll be what is, when you share it on social media, you share your website, that's what's going to pop up. So you can put your title and your site description, whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to uncheck all these boxes. I'm going to unenable all of these. These become default. So this book reviews, product reviews, recipes, video reviews, just uncheck all of these boxes and click update. This is going to clean up the menu section and really put less things on the sidebar. which is really important when you're first starting. I want this to be as easy for you to use WordPress as possible. So then we are also going to go, you can also link your social media accounts and things like that, which I would recommend doing. And then we're also going to go into the user section, and we're going to go to profile. And we are going to change your profile picture on Gravatar. So you're going to want to sign in on this, and you're going to change your profile picture. You're going to do this because you want a different image. So when you go to one of your sample blog posts, you want to have a picture for your author. You know, you want it will give you the option to have a little bio down here, but I just leave an image. So, and then we are going to go to the pages settings, and all of these pages that got imported when you first when you first created the website and you did the plugin, we're going to go ahead and check all these boxes on the sides. The only one that we are going to keep is the home, the one that says front page, and then we're going to keep the privacy policy. And we're going to go ahead and go to bulk actions and put move to trash and apply. The reason for this is when you're creating anything on WordPress, you're not actually going to be creating pages, you're going to be creating posts. So if you notice, I will open the website and everything will look exactly the same. It's not going to make any difference. You don't have any pages, and that's the thing. Is so I just had you delete all of those pages because I'm just gonna show you how to create content and get your blog rolling and everything up and live. My blog has like 100 and something blog posts on it, and I think I only have 4 pages. You don't create pages, you don't utilize pages. A page is a static. So a page is a static page. So like if you go to look at the home page as a static page, you don't edit it. It's not something that you update. So you don't really need many pages unless you did follow the section in the training video from Akabato or by Income School that you will have different pages if you choose different menus. But for the sake of this training and making it really simple and getting your blog up, we are just going to do posts. If you do need help with pages, be sure to mention it in the comments or reach out to me and I will be more than happy to help you. So with that said, we're almost ready to start looking how to do articles. One more thing is I want to go back to the Bluehost dashboard up top, and we are going to install a SSL certificate, which is, we might have to go actually back to Bluehost, which we can do. I'm just going to pause and I'm going to go over to Bluehost real quick. Okay, so now I'm back on Bluehost. I'm going over to Bluehost, and I'm just going to, you need to upload a SSL. Bluehost gives you a free one, and SSL is, when you go to a website, that little lock up here, it's just verifying that your website is secure and that you are, you're secure. It makes people feel safe, and they can edit credit card information. So it's looking like it should actually just do it itself. It should propagate. This should take some time. As I'm recording this video, it's probably only about 12 hours after I sign up for the domain. Just keep in mind that this stuff can be kind of a slower process. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back into the WordPress dashboard. And sorry, I was a little bit all over the place, but we're going to go back into users and profile. This is where you're going to change your image, your author image. You can actually change your image down here where it says avatar, and I'm just going to select and I'm going to update profile. And now we'll go up here and we'll go to visit site. We'll check out the post and just see if that, so yes, that image did change. And if you want to change the nickname, that's what will be there. So with that said, that is basically cleaning up everything we need, and we're almost ready to the point where we can just start cranking out blog posts. The next video is going to be on plugins. Plugins are crucial. They make your life easier and things like that. They allow you to add in some features that would no longer or wouldn't be available otherwise. So that will be the next video, and we will go ahead and jump into that right now. All right, so now that we got a bunch of the technical stuff set up and we got all the settings that we need to actually minimize distractions and have everything going, just a couple more things that we need to do before we get ready to actually start writing some blog posts or go about finding blog posts to write. So a couple more things that I want you to do is go into settings and go into permalinks, and you're going to change this. It should have been on plain when you first came in here, but you're going to change it to post name, and you're just going to save the changes. That way, when you create a blog post or you create a post, it's automatically going to make your link the title of your blog post, so that way you can have your keyword inside of your title or your URL. It just helps with SEO, and it'll end up looking a lot cleaner, and that is one thing that I would recommend doing. All right, so now that we did that, that will be the last setting that we have to do. And now we're going to do some plugins. This is where a lot of people can go way overboard, and they start adding all these different plugins so essentially a plugin it allows you to do things without having to write code. It just makes things easier. It's something that you'll download onto your WordPress site, and then it'll just make your life easier. But people tend to go overboard with these, and the problem with that is even if you have a plugin that you're not using, it will slow down your WordPress site. As I mentioned in a previous section of the video, that's why I had you delete all the plugins that were automatically installed. And there are other plugins that I would recommend, but I'm not going to cover them in this training just because I want to make things as simple as possible for you. And I just want you I'm only going to show you the ones that are like 100% necessary that you must have. And that is going to be a plugin called ShortPixel and ShortPixel's resize after upload. So how you add a new plugin is you go to the plugin section, you'll go up top and you'll click add new, and it'll take you to a search bar or a search section, and you can just type ShortPixel up here in the top right. And then so you're going to do ShortPixel Image Optimizer. You're going to install that plugin. And then click activate. And you might need to purchase some credits to utilize this plugin, but it is actually very cheap. It's like $1 or something, and you can get a ton of credits. But this is going to be crucial for your blog. If you're going to actually create a blog or anything like that, you need to have this plugin or one of its alternatives. I think an alternative would be Smush. I will leave links for both of them, but you need to have this. This is not optional. The reason that you need this is it automatically compresses your images, and that is the number one thing that slows down your website. Its load time is the images that you put on your website or your blog posts, and I try not to upload anything over 100 gigabytes, KB. So, and that is just because it drastically reduces your load time, and if you can't get your load time under about 3 seconds, you're going to lose about 50% of your traffic, and that is not good. That's ultimately going to result in you not showing up in the search engines and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and go back to add new, and we're going to just do ShortPixel again because I totally forgot to have you install the ShortPixel resize after upload. This makes it just saves you a lot of time, and just makes it easier. That way you can upload a picture and Short Pixel will automatically resize it to what it should be for your blog posts and your articles. That your theme is also really good with this, so you won't have to worry about that too much. But those are two settings, or the one plugin that I'm going to recommend that you do not skip out on. There is other ones that if you have looked up how to start a blog or anything like that, they will recommend them, such as like Rank Math or SEO plugins, and they can be helpful. However, I did not include them in this training because I feel like people, especially when you're first starting, people get really reliant on these, and they feel like it can actually hurt the way that you write content because everybody is really focused on achieving a high score on this SEO plugin, and in reality, those aren't the ranking factors, and it just can hurt your content because people will end up stuffing keywords. And the number one thing for ranking and writing blog posts is actually the user's experience. So I just didn't include those. Feel free to use them if you want to, but they're not going to be covered in this training because I don't want to have that. So, and you can go to your plugins and so you can go to your settings, and you will have to do an API key. You will have to put an API key in for this, and we can just look at the pricing real quick on Short Pixel. So you can actually do 100 images a month for free, so that works out perfectly if you're just starting a blog, because you have 2 or 3 images per blog post. You're gonna need a lot of images to actually do that, and I will leave a link to that, and then, or you could alternatively click up here to get your API key, and we'll continue on, and I'll start breaking down the concepts of how to actually understand what you're going to be writing blog posts about and how the search engines work. So a very common misconception is that you can just write blog posts about whatever you want, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. You need to write blog posts and find topics that are readily searched and preferably have buyer's intent. This is why blogging makes it such a great way to make money online as an affiliate, because you can write blog posts that already have established buyer's intent. So just to understand, we'll go to Google, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you don't understand what the whole concept of it is, I'll just do some Google searches, and then I'll explain how you're going to be writing blog posts. So let's see how to make money online. So this is basically, perfect example. This is a blog post right here. And this is what you would call a featured snippet, which is great, which I'll explain more when we go into how to write blog posts. And this is how the search results work. So ideally, nowadays you have a featured snippet right here, which is kind of like a specific answer. So when you ask Google a question, they specifically answer that question in their blog post. These can be really powerful because they're a slightly newer feature, and if you have the featured snippet, or you optimize your blog post to answer the specific question, you can actually outrank really competitive websites if you have a better answer. And it also gives you the ability to rank more than once. So say you got the featured snippet, you can also rank in the search engine. So this is also something I wanted to touch on when I talked about competitive and your competition. This is a very important part of writing blog posts and creating a blog. So say you were in the make money online space. A lot of people would think that they would want to write a blog post specifically on how to make money online. Well, let's look at some of the first organic search results. So when I say organic, you'll see an ad. This says ad. That means they paid for that spot. And everyone that doesn't have that is a organic search result. So you have NerdWallet, and then you have Forbes, Entrepreneur Magazine, and really big websites that the chances of you outranking those are very small unless you can afford to pay a ton of copywriters. So you're going to need to dilute the keyword. You're going to need to, it's what's called a long tail keyword. And I'm going to start going over some keywords and how you can find keywords to write blog posts about. But I'm just introducing you to the concepts of how the search engines work. So we'll go, I'll just show a blog post that I wrote, how to start Amazon marketing without website. So this is a blog post I wrote, how to start Amazon affiliate marketing without a website. And I want to say the top of the second page, yes. So in a sense, this is basically what you're going to be doing. So the question is how to start Amazon affiliate marketing without a website. And then this is how I structured my blog post, is this is how you start Amazon affiliate marketing without a website. So that is how you're going to structure your articles, and you're going to appear in the search results. This is very important. You can't just write content just willy-nilly or just, how you want. You need to write content specific to searches. You can do product reviews. You can do with buyer's intent, so how to solve a problem, how to do something, how-tos, guides, things like that. But you never can really just, so a good comparison would be YouTube. On YouTube, you can get away with creating content about like, hey, this is what I did, this is how I spent my day. That's not how blogging works. You will never rank on Google for like a vlog type content or just telling your opinion. It needs to be very fact-based, and it needs to be very professional, basically. Not saying that you can't spice it up with your own personality, but it does need to be professional, and it needs to answer a specific question. So we'll go ahead and jump into how to start finding blog post ideas. There is a couple free keyword tools that I would suggest if you don't want to use Google. I don't use any keyword tools. I don't use, a lot of people will tell you to like jump into Ahrefs or to pay for a monthly subscription. But in my opinion, if I'm trying to rank blog posts on Google, I would rather use Google. And it's kind of as simple as it sounds. I would just do, that's how I would find a blog post idea, is by Googling something. And you kind of have to use some, some intuition, and you need to create blog posts about things that people would actually be searching for. So you can't write a blog post like, that would be how to make a home gym with cinder blocks in the rain or something. Like, nobody would ever Google that. It needs to be something that's actually tangible and being searched. So we will go, both of these tools I will link, and they can be really great, especially when you're first starting. It's completely free. This one is called Answer the Public. And this is a great one because it gives you question ideas. When I first started, this is the only tool I used. So we can just go here and I'll put in affiliate marketing. And if you notice, it starts listing all of these questions and the competition for those. So how affiliate marketing earn money? Who is affiliate marketing for? What is affiliate marketing? Why affiliate marketing? Is affiliate marketing hard? So when you're first starting, you really want to focus on low competition, very low competition, and that is because you want to be able to get up in the first, you're not going to compete. So the way that Google works is this websites that already have established authority with them and built up credible information, they're going to naturally push them to the front of the search results anyways. So you need to focus on getting really low competition keywords. So if you're using this tool, all of these lighter green ones will be all low competition. And there's a long list of different tools, and down here is a list of them and the competition for them and how many searches are happening per month. This is a great tool for free. I think you get 3 searches per day, and it's not restricted to the affiliate marketing space. So we could do weight loss, and then it'll start listing questions about weight loss as well. This is an amazing free tool. They do have an upgraded plan. I think it's like $90 a month. But as I mentioned before, I have a massive blog, and I don't use any keyword tools. I just use Google. The next one would be Ubersuggest. And that is another free tool. And this one's great. It gives you a ton of ideas and a ton of different ideas for finding. This one does like a complete audit of your website and everything, which is great once you start having content. And this is by Neil Patel, which is like one of the biggest SEO gurus around. So this is an amazing tool. And I'll go through the process of how I would go about finding blog post ideas specifically on Google. And that is because this is how I go about it. It's something that you can kind of call alphabet soup. So I would go affiliate marketing. Let's say how to start affiliate marketing, right? And then so I would just look at the competition, and so I would see Ahrefs, which Ahrefs is a huge business, and then you have Neil Patel, and then all these other very big companies. So that's not, I would not write an article specifically with how to start affiliate marketing. So what I would do is I would dilute that keyword. I would go how to start affiliate marketing A, and we'll go as a beginner. Okay, again, you notice there's very hard competition. So then we would go how to start affiliate marketing with Facebook, affiliate marketing training, Plant Hat. So these are getting a little bit less competitive. So then another thing that I really wanted to touch on, if you ever are doing this method and you see Quora, which Quora is like an answer form site, if you ever see them ranking up top or in the beginning of the search engines, if they're showing up in the top of the search results, write that post, write that blog post, because it's very easy to outrank forms. So if you notice, there is a little less competition on this one. So I might write that blog post, and so I would just copy that and I would put it in an Excel sheet, and I would just get a list of like 100 blog posts that I would write, and I would continue to do this until I had a lot of blog posts. So we'll go to why start an affiliate marketing business. And see that, again, that's a really competitive keyword. So we'll go, what is affiliate marketing and how does it work? Very competitive again. So we'll see, is affiliate marketing a pyramid scheme? Okay, perfect example right there. Quora is the second result. So I would write a blog post. I already did write a blog post about this, actually. But my point is, you just continue to go through Google and you find things that they're less competition. And the way that you're going to know that is if you've been in your industry for a while, or if you've ever, I would assume if you're promoting something as an affiliate, you've done some research on that, so you're going to recognize some very big powerhouses in your niche or your industry. So if you're doing like you're in the fitness or health industry, anything like WebMD or anything like that, just stay away from those, because they are really they're monsters, and you're not going to outrank them, especially when you're first starting. Once you're ranking and you've built up authority, you do have a chance of competing against them, but you need to dilute your keywords to the point where there is less search volume, but there also is less competition. So we'll go ahead and start jumping into how to structure your blog posts now. So now we are going to start getting into the fun stuff, and that's actually how to write blog posts and the way that you're going to write blog posts to actually rank on Google and everything along those lines. So before we start, I want to debunk some myths and go over some things that are commonly asked questions but aren't necessarily relevant. So everybody always asks me, how long do you need to make a blog post? How long should your post be? And a common misconception is that you need to have extremely long blog posts, and everybody's, depending on who you ask, some will say you need to have a 3,000 word article, and some will say that you need to have at least 600 words. And my honest recommendation is that you size your blog post to search. So depending on what you decided to write a blog post on would be how long you do it. So for this example, I'm going to be going over a blog post that I wrote recently about the GoDaddy affiliate program. So I will just go to GoDaddy affiliate program review, and I'll just Google that. And I will just look at I'll go with this one right here. And then I will go, this is an important part about writing blog posts, is you're going to look at your competition and you're going to basically model what they're doing and what types of content they're writing. And you're going to give it in general the similar length or longer. So if you notice, this is quite a short blog post in comparison to the blog post that I wrote is quite long. And my reason for doing this is because usually the longer the blog post, the better it performs, but that's usually only because longer blog posts are full of more information and they are more helpful. And with that said, should always be your main focus when writing blog posts. Don't let it be how to monetize or making affiliate commissions, because that is going to translate into the way that you write. When you write blog posts, you really want to write the best piece of content that is for the reader's experience and the way that you want their experience to be the best, and that should be your main focus. So we're going to jump over just the process, and I'm going to be going over this blog post and how I formatted everything. So, and I'll also leave a link to the blog post template, which will give you detailed section and written guide on how you do this. So the title up here, right here, is exactly, write it verbatim what you have your Google search to be. So whatever you decided to write the blog post on is exactly what you're going to write in your title. You're going to write it verbatim, word for word. You want at least your Google search, and then you might have like a question afterwards. But the key is you want to keep it under 60 characters. Anything longer is not going to perform very well. And then you have your lead-in section, which is like 2 to 3 sentences, which is this section right here. And that is basically what is going to automatically usually show up in the default area of your your meta description. So this is the meta description, what shows up under your title and things like that. And so you want just basically you're going to use this section to lead in and preface what this entire blog post is going to be about. And then this is where the next part is where if you've ever looked up how to start a blog or anything like that, this is where it's going to start to change. So people will recommend doing different things, and this is, if you can do this second part and you get this part down, you will have serious amounts of success. And that is because this is a new feature that Google is very highly prioritizing, and that is the featured snippet. So if you notice on my blog posts, I have everything, and then I have an entire paragraph or sentences that are highlighted in bold. That is because I am letting Google know that this is what I want to be a featured snippet. There's no way you can guarantee it, but this helps immensely. You are going to write this section. This is arguably the most important part of writing your blog post. And if you can get this right, you are going to be killing it. You want this to be under 300 characters, and you are going to write this as if you are writing the answer for an encyclopedia or a dictionary. Don't spice, throughout your blog post, yes, you can spice it up and you can add your personality, but in this section, make sure that your answer is very clear and as if you're writing the answer to the question. So if you notice, this blog post is a GoDaddy affiliate program review, and this is answering the question. It says GoDaddy affiliate program should not be your first choice because of its lower commission rates and poor customer service. They have many products and boast a 45-day cookie, but the controversies surrounding their brand turn off many customers. Use it only if you can't find a better program. So I'm answering the question specifically. Basically, if you should join the GoDaddy affiliate program, and I highlighted the entire section in bold. And then we move on to the next section. This is the featured image. This is what's going to show up. You don't have to have this. Another thing that I might not have prefaced is anything that your English teacher taught you in school, forget about it. When you're writing a blog post, you are writing for the web, and the most important thing is that it's visually appealing, and it's not that it's visually appealing and people want to read it. And by that I mean you want to, improper sentences and improper paragraphs are not a thing with blog posts. If you notice, I space out. I usually only do 1 or 2 sentences, and then I press enter. I go to the next line. And that is because you have to think, when people are reading these blog posts on mobile devices and smaller phones, 2 or 3 sentences can take up their entire screen, and that can be very intimidating, and people aren't going to, they're not going to end up reading through the whole thing, and then they're just going to end up leaving, which could negatively hurt your website. So the next section is we're going to go down and we're going to go to, you do a read on section, and that's basically just tells you what you can expect to find out in this blog post and everything like that. So this is the formatting of your blog post. So it's going to be a H2, which up here you'll notice all these different things and different ways that this is where it can get very confusing and very intimidating with the blog. And all you really need to focus on is your headings, your paragraphs, and then your images, where you can upload images. And everything is always going to be in H2. So your heading right here, and you'll have H1 through 6. It's always going to be in H2, because your title up here is your H1. So don't make your titles H1s. And then everything below it, or like subcategories, so like the pros of the GoDaddy affiliate program, and then I elaborate more pros of the affiliate program, is going to be in H3, and then so on and so forth. So if you had a very elaborate and in-depth section, you would break it up into headings. So I'll show you my I'll show you the table of contents, so it kind of breaks it down. So if you notice, this is what the table of contents will end up looking like. And these are all H2s, and then below that are H3s, H2, H3. And the reason for you doing that is you're just structuring your article, and it's very important that you have H2s and H3s because it helps Google figure out what your blog post is actually about, because that's how you end up ranking. Is Google will crawl your website, and then it'll figure out what your blog post is about and end up ranking it for the terms. And a lot of people will get the notion that you need to stuff your keyword or your search term throughout your blog post a ton of times, and that just isn't the case. This used to work, but now it's not so much. It actually hurts the user's experience, and it is ultimately, Google's very smart, and they'll be able to figure out what your blog post is about. So basically, another thing to keep in mind when you're blogging is you don't want to you want to stay on topic. So if you notice throughout this entire blog post, it is all about GoDaddy and GoDaddy's affiliate program. I don't veer off. I don't go end up talking about a different affiliate program or anything like that. I end up, you want to basically elaborate as much as you can. So I go over the pros and cons of their affiliate program. I go over how much money you can expect to make from the GoDaddy affiliate program, and if you should go for it. And then a very important part about blogging that doesn't get spoke about very often, and what Google really wants to see, is that you cite your credible sources. So a lot of people get the notion that you need to be an expert to start a blog, or you have to have all of this knowledge, but in reality, you can just act as a reporter. When I write blog posts, I just go out and I start Googling things about the GoDaddy affiliate program. And then I just go to these websites, and then I take some of their information that I get from their website, and then I reword it, and I put it in a digestible information on my own blog. That's in a sense what blogging is you're compiling all the information from different blogs and different websites, and you're putting it into one blog post in the best way possible, so that someone can just get all the information they want in one place. And then you're going to want to cite all of your sources at the bottom, as I do on all my blog posts. I put where I got all my information from, and then that is, in a sense, basically how you write your blog post and structure your blog posts. There will be a template on how you can do this in a PDF form, and that is basically going to be the section on how to write blog posts. Just write as much information as you can without rambling. Just provide the best piece of information and value to your customers, and over time you will rank. You want to break up your content and make it visually appealing. That is going to be the number one thing. Using bullets, lists, things like that. Things to make it easier to just read through and go through the entire blog post. So that will be it for the blog post, creating the actual blog post, and then we'll move on to some other terms and good practices that you should be aware of. Okay, so now that we've went over how you actually write the blog posts, we're going to talk about a very important part, and that is actually how you monetize and how do you make money from it. So a lot of people are going to be like, well, if I'm writing this blog post, how am I actually going to make money from it? And that is by inserting links and inserting different types of links. And there's two different types of links. You have an external link or an internal link, which both are very important. So an external link would be something like this right here, which links out to another credible source. I'm linking out to GoDaddy. This helps Google figure out what your blog post is about. So make sure if you're linking out to external resources, they are relevant and they help Google understand what that specific blog post is about. And then you have internal links, which are where you link to other portions of your website. So if you notice throughout my blog posts, I always do like related posts, which link out to other blog posts that I've done. This helps people stay on your website, and it ultimately helps your ranking scores because people are crawling through your website and they're able to see other types of posts and content. So the best way to go about it when you're trying to monetize is there is a couple ways you can monetize your blog. You can do ads. If you have enough traffic, you can have them place advertisements on your website. Things like Google and other platforms will actually pay you to place advertisements on your website. And then you can also do affiliate products, which is probably the main focus of most of you here, because that's the primary source of what I do is affiliate marketing. So you can ultimately create your own pictures like this and your own banners, and then you could have them as, direct to an affiliate link. So if you notice, I click on that it takes you to an affiliate link, and then you can also do it inside of your blog post, inside of your writing. And I wouldn't really recommend like stuffing your affiliate links everywhere and just creating a ton of spamming your affiliate link throughout your blog post, because that can actually negatively hurt your score with Google. But I would always recommend having some affiliate links somewhere. So if you notice right here, I have a free training, reveals how I make a full-time income online. Just throw it in there every once in a while. And that is ultimately how you're going to be able to monetize on your blog. But in reality, it could be quite a bit of time before you actually are getting enough traffic to even worry about monetization. So I would really just focus on writing the best content and worry about monetization when you're actually getting traffic, because it doesn't matter if you have 500 affiliate links on your blog posts. If nobody's seeing your blog posts, then you're not going to be making any commissions. So that is going to conclude the blogging training and how you can start your WordPress blog from scratch. If you made it all the way to the end, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like and subscribe button, or if you left a comment below. If there's anything in this video that I did not cover and you did make it this far, please feel free to reach out to me in the comment section or jump into my Facebook group, and I would be more than happy to help you through the process one-on-one or even over a live call. So with that said, I will see you in the next video.